This is how I found out I was pregnant. It's your girl Bree and I'm back again. Hey y'all, how are y'all doing? So I'm coming at y'all with a video on how I found out I was pregnant. Y'all, this is a story time. This is definitely a story time. So before we get started, make sure you check out my social media at Bree_Elise on TikTok and Snapchat, and at Bree Elise on Instagram and Bree Elise on Facebook. All my socials will be linked in the description box below, so make sure you check me out. So before I get into depth on what actually happened, I am going to give y'all a little bit of a background on where my health was at. So basically, I found out I was diagnosed with PCOS in 2017 or 2018. I can't remember which year, but it was one of those years. When I was diagnosed with it, it didn't really bother me. The doctor said that it was going to be hard for me to get pregnant, but I was like, we'll cross that bridge when we get there, because at the time, I was still in school, and I wasn't too much worried about it. So, yeah, I wasn't too much worried about it at all. So, go a little bit further to 2021, November of 2021, me and my boyfriend decided we wanted to start trying for kids. Both of us knew that we wanted to start having kids early, so we wanted to go ahead and try for kids. So that's when we started trying. I went basically with a natural route first, just by trying to eat healthier, work out. Yeah, eat healthier, work out, and that really wasn't working at all for me. So in 2022, my hormones were all out of whack. Like, I even have a video where I was talking about I was bleeding for 6 weeks. Like, I had a non-stop period. So at that point, I was like, okay, I need to get on some medication for my PCOS. So in January of this year, 2023, I went to the doctor. I let her know, yes, I want to get pregnant soon if possible. So when I told her I wanted to get pregnant, she put me on metformin, Provera. Yeah, it was metformin, this medicine, Provera, and another medicine to actually help me ovulate called Clomid. So I did take the metformin, the Provera, and Clomid. So the first round of Clomid, it worked. I did ovulate, but I didn't get pregnant. So I stopped taking the Provera, because the Provera, that medication was only for me to stop bleeding irregularly. I don't know why I said it like that, but yeah, Provera, that medication Provera, it was supposed to stop me from bleeding crazy like I was, because I wasn't supposed to bleed for 6 weeks at all. Nobody's supposed to bleed for that long. So yeah, that was only to help me stop bleeding and help me get back on track. So I stopped taking Provera. I didn't take Clomid. I bought Clomid again, but I didn't take it. I didn't take it because I said, you know what? It didn't work the first time. I'm going to try to lose at least 50 pounds and try again. So months went by. I've been taking metformin. In that time frame, that's all I was taking. I stopped taking Provera. I stopped taking Clomid. So this is how I found out I was pregnant. Okay. So, and I'm laughing because it's funny. It's funny now that I'm thinking about it, but it wasn't funny then. Okay. So in May, at the end of May of this year, at the end of May, I was having a lot of pain in my back, my lower back. I had extreme pain in my lower back, and I was like, my back has never hurt like this. I don't know what's going on. This has to be fixed. So not only was my lower back hurting, it was going into my hips, and then it was going into my legs, and it was hard for me to walk because when it went to my legs, it put it in so much pain that it was hard for me. It was really, really hard for me to walk. Really, really hard. So that pain was off and on. It wasn't every single day. It was like every other day or every 2 days. And so what happened was I needed more refills on my allergy medicine. So I said, okay, now that I have an appointment to go to the doctor to get more of my medication for allergies, I'll go ahead and bring that up and see what she say. And before I even went to the doctor, I went on Google. You know, everybody go to Google when something wrong with them, right? So I went to Google and I was looking up lower back pain. Yeah, and it was all going back to pregnancy. And I was like, you know what? I might be pregnant. Something might be going on like that with me. I'm thinking I might be pregnant. So I went to the doctor and I was telling her, you know, I was originally coming, you know, to get more of my medication because I ran out of refills on my allergy medicine. But another thing too is my lower back has been hurting. It's been going into my hips and then going into my legs, and it's kind of hard for me to walk when that pain comes. And she was like, okay. And then she started talking to me about my everyday activities and what I do. I told her, you know, I work from home as a customer service rep. So most of the time I'm sitting down. And she was like, well, how are you sitting? And I sit like this, like I'm sitting right now. And she was like, well, maybe, you know, maybe you're slouching. Maybe you don't know that you're slouching when you sit down, whatever. And I ain't never been known to slouch. So I was like, no, but I really feel like I sit straight. I really feel like, you know, my posture is really good. So I really don't think that's what it is. And she was like, well, what we can do is we can do an x-ray. And then I was like, well, I really think, because she was asking, because I was like, well, I've been seeing stuff on Google and I just don't know what's going on. That's what I had said after she was talking about my posture. And she was like, well, what did it say on Google? And I was like, well, it was saying I was pregnant. It was like, those are pregnancy symptoms. And she was like, okay, well, and that was, and let me tell y'all, that was on June 8th. So the pain started at the end of May, and then I went to the doctor June 8th. I forgot to mention that. So, yeah, this was June 8th, and she was like, okay, well, let's go ahead and do a pregnancy test. If you're okay with doing a pregnancy test, we can go ahead and do that. And if you're not pregnant, I can put you on some numbing medicine to kind of numb it when it's hurting like that. And then, you know, if you want to still do an x-ray, we can schedule you for an x-ray. Just call us back and, you know, let us know if it stopped. So I take the pregnancy test. They didn't tell me right away. The lab was busy that day. So they couldn't tell me right away. So she ended up calling me and telling me I wasn't pregnant. She sent me some numbing medicine and she was like, yeah, just take that. If you're still having problems, well, you can come back for an x-ray. So I said, okay. So I got the medicine, right? I still felt like I was pregnant though. I still felt like maybe, this was the only, and by the way, this was the only symptom I had of beginning pregnancy. This was the only symptom. I wasn't throwing up. Yeah, I wasn't throwing up. I didn't have any other symptoms besides my back and my legs and my hips hurting. This was the only symptom. So after I left the doctor's office, she called me, told me the test was negative. The pregnancy test was negative. She sent me the medication. I got the medication and I only took one of those numbing pills. I only took one because I was like, I don't want to take a lot of these because I still don't know if I'm actually pregnant. Me, I've always been that type of person where if I feel like something's going on with me, like I felt like I was pregnant the whole time. no matter what that test had said. I felt like I was pregnant. So in my mind, I'm like, I'm pregnant. I don't care what the test said. I don't care what the doctor said. I'm pregnant in my mind. So I tell my boyfriend about it. And he was like, well, maybe it's the computer chair that you're sitting in. You know, you got it at the beginning of 2021 when you started working from, you got it at the beginning of 2020 when you started working at home. Maybe it's time for you to get a new chair. And I said, maybe. But if that was the case, why am I just now hurting? Why have I been hurting if that was the case? If it was the chair that was actually making my back hurt? Why didn't it hurt a year later, a year of me having that chair? You know? So I was like, no, I don't think it's the chair. So yeah, I did take one of those numbing pills. And I said, you know what? I'm going to just wait. So I'm going to wait until July 1st. July 1st was a week before my birthday. So I was like, I'm going to test July 1st. And if it still says negative, then I'm not pregnant. But I still feel like I might be pregnant. So fast forward to July 1st. This is a week before my birthday. Because I definitely wanted to make sure if I wasn't pregnant, I was going to drink for my birthday. You know, turn up. But July 1st, I took a pregnancy test. And y'all, I swear I didn't even pee on it that good. I mean, I swear it was like maybe 1 or 2 drops. And then I had put it on the counter and it was already positive. Already positive. I didn't have to wait the 3 to 5 minutes to see if it was positive. It popped up right away. And I was like, oh my, I was telling my boyfriend because he was at home. I was like, I'm already seeing the pregnancy test. It's already telling me the answer. I was like, I'm not prepared. I was like, well, I didn't say I wasn't prepared. I was just like, you know, I'm already seeing the pregnancy test. It's looking like it's going to be positive. I'm going to still wait the 3 minutes and look at it. So y'all, the first pregnancy test showed positive. It did. I was shocked. I was shaken. I was happy. I was excited. Like, you know how you get so happy about something and it's like you start shaking and it's like, oh my gosh, like that. So that's how I felt. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm pregnant. And I said, okay, you know what? I'm going to take a second pregnancy test. I'm going to wait about a couple hours and I'm going to take another one. Because the pack came with 2. It was the clear blue, the one with the lines. So it's like, you know, a plus or negative. So I took a second pregnancy test. It also said positive. So I said, okay, 2 tests in a row said positive. I'm definitely pregnant. Told my boyfriend I was pregnant. And he was like, okay. He was like, you know what? And then a couple weeks later, I want to say like a week or 2 later, he was like, you know what? I know you say you was pregnant, but let's take a digital pregnancy test and let's see if it say pregnant on the screen. Because we was like going back and forth because we didn't know. Because by me having PCOS, which I didn't mention earlier, PCOS is polycystic. It means polycystic ovarian syndrome. It means I have cysts in my ovaries and it makes you have fertility issues, irregular periods, and stuff like that. If y'all want to know more information about it, look it up. But yeah, he was like, you know, do a digital one this time. So I did do a digital pregnancy test and it said pregnant. It said pregnant. And yeah, I was happy all over again. I just feel like anytime you doubt yourself, don't doubt yourself. There's no reason to, because anything you want in life, you can have it. As long as you put in the work, do what you're supposed to do, really talk to the right people, and get on the, in my case, get on the right medication, it can happen for you. You know? It can happen. And I'm just so happy that it worked. That medicine, it took what was it? I started the medicine in January, February, March, April. It took 4 months for me to get pregnant from taking that medicine. So I'm glad I was talking to the right doctor. We had a great game plan on taking this medication and getting pregnant because it worked. It worked. It definitely worked. So that's pretty much the end of how I found out I was pregnant. It was a little crazy story, but anyway. I'm going to show y'all my bump. I am currently, let me back up. I'm currently 20 weeks. Tomorrow I'll be 21 weeks. So, turn to the side. And my baby is sitting real low. I be feeling my baby's heartbeat like right here. But yeah, 20, almost 21 weeks. That's where I'm at. Another thing I want to say is, if you're still trying to conceive, don't give up. It will happen for you. If it happened for me, it will definitely happen for you. I promise you. If that's really what you want, you can have that. You know, I am so glad and happy that I didn't give up. Because with PCOS, it's a journey. It's not, for some people, it's harder to get pregnant than other people. So, yeah, don't give up. Don't give up. Y'all got this. Y'all got this. That was the end of the video. If you made it this far, go ahead and drop some purple hearts down below. And thank y'all so much for continuing to support my channel. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.